What's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I am going to be showing you guys, I'm going to be telling you guys about IP addresses and what a private IP address is, how the internet and the IP address works, and what a private IP address is. So let's get into the video. So firstly, I'm gonna show you how to see your IP address, like what IP address you have. And yeah, so I'm gonna show you what IP address you have. This IP address I'm gonna be showing you is called a private IP address. Private IP address is a IP address that is like hidden from everyone. Anyway, I'll get to private IP addresses in a moment, but let's just go into finding what your IP address even is. So firstly, you want to go to the search bar here and type in 3 letters, CMD. That's all you want to type, and it comes up with command prompt. So you want to click on that. Then you want to type in this command. So it's IP config, and then what you want to do is add a /all, and then you want to do a space, this little line here, and then you want to go find, and then space, these 2 quotation marks, and then capital I, capital P, and then 4, and then V4, enter. And here it will show IP address .. or whatever, and then a colon, and it will show your IP address right there. This is the private IP address that I have, and this is just a private IP address. And now you know how to find your IP address. I'm going to talk about your private IP address now and your public. So firstly, this is your private IP address, and so a public IP address is actually, let's do private first. A private IP address is an address, IP address that no one knows, only like the people in your house know, and only one person in the house has that exact IP address. It's all unique. No IP address in the world is the same. Besides public IP addresses, they can all only be the same. Private IP addresses are all unique. None can ever be the same. And for example, in my house, in someone's house, there's 5 rooms, right? A kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and I don't know, a play, like 2 playrooms, I don't know. So 2 playrooms, right? And then you label some of those like bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, and then you want to give like a little piece of paper to bedroom 1, right? And you're in bedroom 2, so you want to give it to bedroom 1. You're just gonna bring it, so you're just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna bring this piece of paper to bedroom 1. You know what bedroom 1 is because you're in that house, and you've seen what bedroom 1 is, and you've seen what it looks like and all. So you know what bedroom 1 is. But do you think that the people that are across the street, do you think they would know what bedroom 1 is? I don't think they would know, because they're not in your house. First of all, they don't know how many rooms there are. They've probably been inside to look, but maybe you've put an extra room in. They don't know. That's why they call it, so for example, they want to send you a package. They say, they're not going to say, okay, I want to send it to bedroom 1. it might go to the kitchen. For example, bedroom 1 was the kitchen. The parcel is going to go to the kitchen. I don't think that's going to work really well. We want it in bedroom 2, right? Where the bedrooms are and stuff. Or whatever. So what it's gonna... So then it's not gonna turn out good because the parcel, the piece of paper, it's gonna go to the kitchen. And you don't want that, right? So they're gonna ask for your address, and you're gonna say bedroom 1 or 2 or whatever, and they're not gonna know, right? So that's why they say IP address, so people know what. So it's like a little number, or like it's a place. So an IP address is like a little number that is just to describe a place or something. So for example, that IP address you saw, that was a private IP address. No one knows that address except people in my family and everyone like that. No, the person across the street wouldn't know my private IP address. But now I'm going to talk about the public IP address, which I'm not going to show. Well, there's also a way to find your public IP address, and what you want to do for that is go into Google, and you want to say what is my IP. I'm not going to push enter right here because it's going to reveal my house address. The public IP address is your house address. It's usually bad to reveal, and I don't want to expose my my house IP address because I don't want to get I don't want anything to happen. So I'm just gonna not push enter. But if you push enter, this is, I took a screenshot of what it would look like. I put some. I'll show you. So this isn't actually my public IP address. This is just a concept of what it would look like. So it'll go like 58.110.10.12, and then say your public IP address. This is a public IP address, and you just search what is my IP, and it'll come up with yours. But this is not mine. This is not my address. This is just a made up one I just made up as a concept of what it would look like. So do not go and say, oh my god, I'm gonna hack this kid. Oh my gosh, she's so dumb. How could you do that? No, you can't hack me. It's way different than that. You thought, wow. Okay, so I saw someone, I'm not gonna mention the name, but I saw someone in my comment section on I'm pretty sure it was my second video of when I was back. They said, I hacked your IP, and well, I hacked your IP, that would mean that the private IP, because they said I hacked your IP, but they can't hack my IP because they won't know my private IP address. So that's why they call it a private, and a public, if you share it, they would know, and it's really bad to share it. So that person that said I hacked your IP, then don't say that because it ain't working. So yeah. Okay, so then so that's what's gonna happen, and yeah, so you can't hack my IP. Good luck hacking my IP though, but you ain't hacking my IP, so yeah. Alright, so now I'm gonna be showing you a diagram of what your internet would look like, and I'm gonna show you now. So this is what your internet is probably gonna look like, and yeah. So it probably looks complicated, but it's pretty easy to explain. So you would, so this is, so where do I start? Okay, here, I'll show you. So this is the public IP address. This is just the made up one, okay, that I showed you here. See, same one as here. It's a made up one. So this is a made up one, and this is a made up one as well. So this is my side, this is my point of view, and this is your point of view, or your laptop or whatever. This is Arian's laptop or PC or whatever. This is yours right here. And the red numbers are your public IP address, and the public IP address are assigned by the NTU right here. And the NTU stands for Network Termination Unit, and that's and the IP and the public IP address is also made by your, like, where your internet comes from. So, for example, you bought your internet from Optus. Your public IP address is gonna come from Optus. If you bought your internet from Telstra or whatever internet you bought it from, it's gonna it's gonna have your IP address from Telstra or Optus or whatever you have. And yeah, so now what you're gonna do, and then now what happens is that's your public IP address. I'm now gonna explain about private. So your private IP address is an IP address given to one of your devices at home, and you don't want to anyone to see, or like no one can hack it unless no one can hack it, and the private IP address is made from the wireless access point, as you can see right there. So the private IP address is made from the wireless access point, and that's how the IP address works. The private IP address works. And if you if you want to play a game, like for example, I make an online game, and I make a game, and it involves typing the host IP address. For example, it says, please type in the host IP address to join the game, and the host was me, right? You're not gonna type in this 192.168.1.121. You're gonna actually use the public IP address that I have. This isn't actually my public IP address because I don't want to reveal it. I don't want to expose my IP address, my public IP address, so I don't want to do that. But you would, if in a game I make, you would have to use this this red IP address, and the NTU translates your private IP address to a public. So if we wanted to connect to a game, you would have to do you would have to say, I want to connect this, and then I would so firstly I would transfer my IP address to this, and then you would do yours, and then it would connect the game. Since it's a public IP address and anyone in the world can access it, but in a private, no one can access it except for you. So that's why they call it a public and private IP address. And that's why it's usually not used in games, like any online games. That's why they use public and not private, because no one in the world can access it. But with a public, anyone can access the same IP as you. So then you can connect to the same game and it would work fine. So that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. It looked very quick, but this is a 14-minute video. Oh gosh. Anyway, that's the end of this video, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.